Hello and welcome to another level design deep dive video. I am mOzidesigner, and today's deep dive video will be talking about puzzle design and puzzle presentation within the level of Blast Pit in Half-Life. I've been playing Half-Life again with the RTX mod, and recently I showed you guys the difference between RTX on and off with the train intro video. But today's video is going to be more about puzzle design within Blast Pit. So let's take a look of how that's set up and what we can learn about puzzle design within level design. So Blast Pit basically follows what I like to call sort of a hub and spoke design, where there's a central hub that's in the silo to my left, and to get to it there are several spokes. So it's quite simple to get the player in and out of the space. Many games do this on a more complicated level like Elden Ring or Dark Souls, but the concept is the same, that you want the players to go in and out of the same spaces and find means of paths that will get them from the puzzle problem to the puzzle solution. So here we are at the introduction of what we saw earlier. The scientist gets knocked out, the tentacle monster shows up, so we see a larger problem and we need a solution to kill it. And the solution is to get the test fire rocket running, but it's offline, with 3 elements of power, fuel, and oxygen. So I need to explore the space through the hub and spoke method to find the solution to the problem. So Barney here gives me some advice that the tentacle monster is attuned to sound, so if I make too much noise, it's going to know where I am. So as a solution to a smaller problem, I'm given grenades. Grenades make a lot of noise, so I can use the grenades to 1, distract the tentacle monster away from my position, and 2, use the grenades in the main hub here to open paths to the different spokes to solve a larger problem of getting the control panel online to fire the test rocket. So as you can see, I threw a grenade out far away, it made noise, it gives me a chance to kind of sneak around the space without being noticed, to the best of my ability. But each time the grenades have been detonated, there's still a short delay and the tentacle monsters come closer to my location because I'm still making some noise walking on this metal platform. So it's a balance of using sound as a distraction to solve this smaller problem to get to the larger solution. As you can see here, the path is blocked that will take me to the next spoke of the hub to find a solution to the larger problem. So I have to throw a grenade, make some sound, throw a second grenade to distract them so I can go on my merry way in the level to solve the problem of getting the control panel online. So we're at the first or second spoke of the hub. The first spoke was the way into the hub. The second spoke now takes us towards the fuel and oxygen part, and we know we're kind of going the right way because the pipes are colored blue and red according to the control panel, blue and red for fuel and oxygen. So a great tip on level design is they kind of beat us over the head here in Half-Life, but it still works, where you can use these pipes that are color coordinated with the problem and leading us to the solution. So I follow the pipes, they get me closer and closer to the solution, but lo and behold, the door is locked to the fuel room. Very classic puzzle design thing that you even see in Dark Souls and Elden Ring to this day is the one-way door. It opens from another side, so I know the solution is behind that door, but I need to find the way into that room and open the door from the other side. So on my journey to get to the fuel room, I've encountered my second smaller problem within a larger problem, or puzzle within a puzzle. So this puzzle is quite simple. There's a giant fan, and there's a path above me. I try to open the path with a gun. It doesn't do anything, bullets don't do anything. So I need to find a way to get probably an explosive, the grenades I've been given earlier, up to the top to open the path, and continue my way to hopefully to the fuel room. In doing so, I've gone down, I've hit the switch, and the fan is now moving. So the puzzle's not that hard. You don't have to make puzzles super complicated, but challenging, definitely. So the challenge is to get past the fan and not get chopped up when you turn it on. With the fan on, air is moving forward and it carried a grenade to the top. My path is open. So kind of a 1 + 1 = 2 moment. If the grenades can go up, most likely I can go up as well. So jump in, without risk, hopefully. And I'm carried away to the top to make my way further down to the other side of the one-way door inside the fuel room. So I made my way into the fuel room after exploring some vents. There's some zombies in here. Nice RTX lighting. I really like the mod, how the muzzle flashes light up the darker spaces. Gives a lot more mood and atmosphere. But this video is about puzzle design. So once I clear out the room, I found a console, and the console has fuel and oxygen. I've hit the oxygen, it turns blue, matching the blue pipe. Player feedback that I've solved that part of the puzzle. And turning on fuel turns on the red light, matching the red pipe. So player feedback that you've solved the problem, and I need to go and see what the next step is for the larger puzzle in itself. And back to the concept of one-way doors, I take the ladder, use the keypad, and back to where I started. So a nice little journey for a sub-puzzle within the larger puzzle itself. A great thing to do in level design. I follow the pipes to my way back. On my way back, I'm sort of back in the hub and spoke area, and I can see the next spoke to my left with a power conduit line. So I know where I need to go, which is another good thing in level design, to show the players where they need to go next. So I need to go back inside the hub and find a way to the next spoke. Doing a little save load here so I don't die, because sometimes I do make mistakes and the tentacle monster will get me. So I can see the path below me, so I know I need to repeat the process of using grenades to distract the tentacle monster to make my way down. On the lower level, I'm quite close to the monsters. I've distracted them with the grenades, a thing I've been taught, introduced, and I've mastered. And I make my way to the spoke below me where I need to turn on the power. So very similar fashion to the oxygen and fuel. There's a silver colored pipe or conduit that I need to follow. So familiarity, which is a great thing in puzzle design, that you know you're on the right path to the solution, but the solution should not be exactly the same. You want to challenge the player once again. So as I progress further to find a solution to this problem, you'll see that the method of solving it is a little more challenging. So following the path, I come to an area where there's an elevator. I can see the power conduit again, so I feel like I'm following it, but you kind of bait and switch the player here, which Half-Life does a lot. So the elevator is stopped, and I need to find a way off the elevator before it breaks and I fall to my death. So I can use the ladder here, avoid a untimely death, but I can see the power conduit on my left, so I can follow the elevator down and see where it takes me and continue following it to the solution I need to turn the power on for the larger puzzle of the control room in the silo. So again, following that method of familiarity with the puzzle design, following the conduit line, but now I've come to this section's mini puzzle. So the first section had the fan. Here there's again a very similar design of a silo, familiarity, but in this case I need to use these circular tram things to get to the upper level instead of a fan. So this time I have a little more control, but there is an element of danger where the second tram here is moving by itself. If I don't time my movements right, it will actually crush me. So I need to kind of familiarize myself with the flow and timing of this tram and not get caught in the middle. So again, familiarity, I'm working my way upwards like the fan, but in this case I'm in more control with the ladders, and I work my way up to the generator. So I found the solution to the mini problem to get the power online. It's a simple switch here, and a scientist hiding up here. Don't know how we got up here, but probably the same way I did. Nice hiding spot, away from the troubles of Black Mesa. But anyways, I need to solve a puzzle here. So the first step is just turn on the power, switch 1, and switch 2. Lights turn on. Again, player feedback that you are completing steps of the puzzle. Always give player feedback. Don't leave the player hanging if they've solved it or not. Great visual feedback that I've solved it. Power conduits coming in, little electricity, lights turn on. Awesome RTX lighting, by the way. And I've been given great feedback that I've turned the power on. There's no mistake that I've not completed this step of the puzzle. There's some games where you do something and you don't get the feedback, and that leaves players hanging of like, did I do something? Did I not do something? So always show the player that they've solved a piece of the puzzle. Don't leave them hanging that the puzzle is longer than it needs to be. So moving on, unlike the fuel room where I can just have a one-way door, walk out and leave, here they've electrified the path, so I can't just walk out and leave. They've given me an extra step of challenge to this puzzle with another smaller puzzle in my way. So I can't walk that path because I'll get electrocuted. So I use a simple box to create a jump puzzle for myself, or a solution to a jump puzzle. Jump on the crates, get on the power conduit line, and walk across the hazard. So just an extra step to make it different from the fuel and oxygen where I just walked out the front door. Here I have to challenge myself a little bit to walk out the front door, which is a nice way of layering. So I've returned back to the control room. The fuel is on, oxygen is on, power is on, player feedback, and all I have to do is hit the button to fire up the test rocket and reward the player with a great spectacle to the problem. Like, it feels rewarding, and here the reward is I've killed the tentacle monster spectacularly. So my efforts were not in vain. I feel a nice reward for the struggle of exploring the space to solve the problem. And now I can go back on my way. Sadly, Barney did not survive this puzzle. The rocket launch got him as well. Anyways, the conclusion is Blastbit is a great study of puzzle design. You know, it's all contained in one space. You have a simple hub where I go back and forth through. The spokes lead me to the solution of the puzzle. And within the puzzle, there are smaller puzzles, but not overcomplicated solutions, but a sense of reward and always a sense of player feedback that they've solved the puzzle. And now that I've completed the larger puzzle, I can continue on my flow and experience the journey of Black Mesa. So hopefully, this level design deep dive of Black Mesa is a great idea and inspiration for you in level design to create puzzles and how to get the player motivated to explore the space that doesn't deal heavily in combat and creates a nice pace breaker for your spaces. So hope you enjoyed this video on puzzle design within Black Mesa's Blastbit, and I'll see you guys in the next level design deep dive video. Thank you for watching. Take care.